Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Izola here with FlickDirect, and I got a copy of M. Night Shyamalan's Trapp in 4K UHD and thought I'd share my opinions about it. So grab your popcorn, sit back, relax, and let's get this started. So let's start off with a brief synopsis. The storyline of Trapp follows a firefighter named Cooper, played by Josh Hartnett, and his daughter, Riley, played by Ariel Donahue. And they are actually going to a Lady Raven concert. Cooper is a very proud daddy, and since, his daughter has been doing very well, and Lady Raven is her idol, she really has been wanting to go to this concert, so he obviously takes his little girl to go see Lady Raven. But things quickly take a turn when Cooper finds out that Lady Raven is working with the FBI because a killer known as the Butcher has actually bought tickets and will be attending the concert. And so obviously there will be things going awry during said concert because of this. And who wouldn't be nervous? Okay, now having said that, there is a plot twist. So for anyone who does not want spoilers, even though they're not really super spoilers because you kind of find out a lot of this within the beginning of the movie, go ahead and just kind of fast forward a couple minutes just so that this particular portion is not spoiling anything for you. Okay, so now for the twist. Cooper's the Butcher. If you didn't see that coming with the way that I set that up, well, then you're really going to be in a huge surprise when you watch this movie. While trying to evade the FBI and obviously keep the secret from his daughter Riley, Cooper has to play this tense cat and mouse game throughout the venue, which leads to some very fun and spooky scenes within these dark corridors. The movie plays on basically the serial killer mentality, but also giving this serial killer a heart because he has what we seem to think is a very loving family. He obviously loves his daughter. And so it's one of those things where you're kind of watching how he plays with both of those sides and struggles with serial killer and doting father. And this is not really out of the realm of possibilities because if you watch true crime dramas like I do, you will know that there are some of the serial killers out there who have had families, and wives and children are none the wiser of what their father, for the most part, I haven't really seen mothers, are doing behind the scenes or in their second lives. Josh Hartnett nails his role as the charming yet menacing Cooper. I mean, he really does a great job playing both sides. And it's a little twisted, but I mean, he's really an amazing actor, so we really weren't expecting anything less than what we received in this movie. As for Riley's character, it starts off strong, but then starts to get a little disappointing once she realizes what's going on and who her father is. So, that was, I would have liked a little more out of that. But for the most part, still a good job done by the actress, Miss Donahue. I kind of want to give her a slide because, or a pass because, still young. She'll have some time to, hone in those skills in future roles. Then we have Salika Night Shyamalan, yes, that is M. Night's daughter, who is playing Lady Raven, and she does actually have a pretty good voice, so we're not losing too much there, but the character in general just kind of seems a little forced, but overall not a terrible job. There is also an issue with the pacing of the movie, especially within the last 45 minutes. It kind of falters and drags on a bit, where that's really where you're wanting the pace to kind of turn up because it's getting towards the end of, I guess, the solution to the situation. Overall, the visual style is great with impressive cinematography, especially throughout the venue, because you're really getting that moody feel, which lends to the tension and the kind of jump scares that we all like in these types of thrilling movies. Unfortunately, style alone can't carry a storyline. So Trapp struggles with its pacing and consistent tension. We obviously want more than what we're getting, so that was unfortunate. The premise has potential, but we do get bogged down a little bit with some subplots. They don't really deter too much from the overall storyline, but still, some of it was really unnecessary, and we could have probably cut some of it out. Although this is not the best work from M. Night Shyamalan, it definitely isn't the worst and was still a fun watch overall, especially with those really tense scenes that we did get. There were enough of them to keep you engaged in the movie. And because of this, I give the movie Trapp a 3.5 out of 5. Now let's move on to video. The 4K transfer of Trapp shines with its HVAC encoding and Dolby Vision HDR, offering a highly detailed viewing experience. The film's 4K digital intermediate brings out impressive clarity, even in the darker scenes set within the hallways and the concert venues. The texture on the clothing and the faces remains sharp, even within those areas where there are a lot of shadows, so you're really not losing any of that clarity, which is really nice. Depth and sharpness are a highlight, and black levels are really excellent, especially with those deep inky shades. And the concert venue gives you a lot of really, really bright colors. Obviously, you have a lot of lights and pyrotechnics and all of those things going on stage, so it really adds to those bright pops of color. Whereas when you are outside, you're getting more of a subdued palette, but it still works really well and is quite beautiful. Overall, the video quality is excellent as always in these transfers, so you're not going to miss out on anything in regards to video quality. And because of this, I give the video a 5 out of 5. And now on to audio. The audio of Trapp features an English Dolby Atmos mix that brings energy of the concert just to life. It's really, really great. While the film doesn't have a lot of dramatic atmospheric effects, the concert sequences are immersive, with crowd noise, music, and even echoes filling the space. The concert seat alone has so many layers of sound that it really feels like you are there live watching the concert. Lower frequencies like the bass at the concert and even areas when you have banging doors just add to that overall tension. I do highly recommend having your soundbar up so you can really get the full effect and feel truly immersed into the movie while you're watching it. The surround channels help to build the atmosphere inside the concert hall, which is also a big help. And those subtle echoes in the hallways just really add to the tension and the feeling of the space. And because of all of this, you know I'm going to give the audio a 5 out of 5. And now on to the extras. I'm just going to come right out and say it, and that I'm disappointed. Not really as much as I wish we would have gotten from it, but let me just kind of break it down, tell you what the special features are for the 4K UHD and DVD. First, you get Setting the Trap, a new M. Night Shyamalan experience. Salika as Lady Raven, deleted scenes. Let's see, there was also Cooper gets stopped by SWAT. Riley shows Lady Raven her room. Cooper takes a hostage and slips away. And then you have the extended concert scene, Where Did She Go? At the end of the day, you are getting some extras, including the digital copy, but I feel like at this time in our lives and with what we can get with digitally filming movies, there should be a lot more that the directors and studios can offer to us in these. And who knows, maybe if, well, I should say when the Steelbook comes out, maybe it'll have a lot more, which I would definitely appreciate. Again, maybe also I just have higher expectations of what I should be getting nowadays when I'm buying these videos or DVDs. So maybe I'm just being overly picky, but I do wish that there were more. Again, I know that a lot of times it's hard to put in bloopers and things of that nature, but this is just a thriller. It's not like the previous one I just did for It Ends With Us. It's more appropriate to have it here than in that type of movie. But again, that's just probably me being overly picky. And because of this, I give the extras a 2 out of 5. Overall, I found Trapp to be a very enjoyable thriller. I find them fun. M. Night Shyamalan does know how to direct and write a movie. And again, it may not be his best, but it is definitely not his worst. So I highly recommend giving this a watch and definitely purchasing this 4K UHD, because if you are an M. Night Shyamalan fan, this definitely needs to be in your library. Having said that, there are some things that I would change about the storyline, especially the pacing, but again, it's still fun to watch. And look, Josh Hartnett was really, really good in this. So that alone should be a positive sell for this, even if the storyline does slow down a little bit too much in certain areas and gets a little anticlimactic when it should bump up the pace. But you know, hey, like I said, there are a lot more positives in regards to the storyline and the movie itself. So I really do think that you will enjoy this, even if it's just because of Josh Hartnett. I love him. I also got to add that Shyamalan's daughter can sing. And honestly, I'd like to kind of see where that goes from here. I didn't do any research, so I'm not sure if that's like her regular gig, so to speak. But if not, she might want to look into it, because it was definitely entertaining. As for M. Night Shyamalan's directing, we got exactly what we expected. But again, I just wish there was a little more with the storyline and pacing, just to kind of make it move a little faster. I mean, we don't want the movie to be short, but it still needs to move. Now, where the story may be lacking, the video and audio quality definitely make up for those scenes where you're wanting just a little more bright pops of color, but you're also getting very crisp and clear sound. You're never going to miss out on what anybody's saying, so the dialogue is very clear. You know, like I said, it just makes up for any of those little pieces that we weren't super happy with. Overall, I give the 4K UHD release of Trapp a 3.75 out of 5. Like I said, if you are an M. Night Shyamalan fan or Josh Hartnett fan, you're definitely going to want this in your library. It is a fun watch. You're still going to get those very tense scenes. It's a great thriller. It's just a fun watch overall, and I think it would be important to have this in your library, especially if you've been collecting Shyamalan movies since the beginning. And if there are those, you know, spots where it kind of slows down a little bit, you always have your phone. You know, you can kind of scroll while you're waiting for those scenes to kind of pick up again. But again, I think you guys will really enjoy this and would love to own it. Now, you can order your copy today. It does come out today, the 5th. Let me know what you think. If you've gotten your copy, what you thought about it. I'd love to hear, you know, all of the thoughts. See if you agree with me on the pacing and the storyline, or how amazing Josh Hartnett was. I know, I'm totally fangirling at this point, but again, I do think that you should go out and get a copy. Again, local stores or online. Just depends on how quickly you want to get your hands on it. But seriously, come back, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And with that, this concludes my review of Trapp in 4K UHD. Please be sure to like and subscribe to all of our channels so you never miss out on any entertainment news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.